The best advice I have is always prepare yourself with a skill set that that you can take into this big arena that we call the entertainment business. The more you have something demonstrable that you can do, whether it is you become a master of Pro Tools, whether you learn how to read music and write charts, whether you learn how to play the guitar, whether you learn how to program synthesizers, work hard on it. I mean, preparation is the key. If you really acquire a skill set, then it really gives you a certain that's your key to get in. Is really coming in and saying, I'm really good at this. I can really play, and being able to not only talk the talk but walk the walk. I say, if you get really good at what you do, you will have a career, because that's in short supply. I mean, it's something that I don't think I can overemphasize, is that your lucky breaks will come if you've got something that you're prepared for. I mean, if you're prepared for that break, that's it. And so to me, it's all about really working hard to get good at whatever it is you've decided you want to do.
The people that I've found to be most successful within the music industry are the people who are working where their passions are. And we all feel extremely lucky to be able to go home at the end of the day, maybe a little exhausted, but we are at least working with what we are most passionate about in life. And so, you know, it's not the most practical advice, but I think in terms of being able to do your job very well. You know, we were talking about an art form, and it's having an awareness and understanding within the larger context of what you're talking about that will really help. But also to remain flexible, because, for example, the last person we hired into our promotion department was a composer who said, I'm a composer, I need a job, I'm not getting commissions to support myself, where should I go in the field? And he creatively thought, let me call this publisher. He hadn't even seen our job posting, and he's the person we hired. He was just creative in how he thought he could use his talents.
In anything you do, it's not just the music end of it, but in any type of art form, any type of competitive, because it becomes a competitive age at the end. You know, you gotta feel good about what you do. And you gotta have faith in what you do. I've seen a lot of guys that you know, that try and they're very, very good, and nothing ever happens. And I will continue seeing that. And it just it has to get put all together between who you are, how focused do you want to stay in this. There are ups and downs in this business, like you would believe. I mean, there's more downs than ups. Tremendous amount more downs than ups. And a lot of those downs are very talented people. And it's just not because maybe it was the wrong time, maybe lyrically it wasn't there, maybe there's so many ifs, you know. But I think that the most important thing is that whoever is a musician, loves the music business, you got to stick with what you believe and do what you feel you should do. The creative part can never be changed, because that's the music business. Music is a creative force and of ideas and art, and what you know, you got to express it the way it comes natural to you. And I think from there, you know, we as executives or record companies will have to be smart enough to identify that talent. And not necessarily means that everything I sign is going to be a hit. If I did, I'd forget it. I wouldn't, you know. But you got to believe in what you're trying to do here. We have to believe in the artists that we have in the label. We have to believe in taking them to a certain degree that we can take them to, and try it. Doesn't mean necessarily it always works, but we're going to give it a shot. Let's put it that way. If we don't, we shouldn't be here.
It's a great life. It's a hard life. Don't expect to make a lot of money. But most of all, don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it, that you can't follow your vision. Because what you have to say is particular only to you, and it's special, and it's important and vital because it's you. So no matter what obstacles you feel that you have in front of you, or people saying you can't, or you shouldn't, or you won't, just keep listening to your vision, because what you have to say is truly important, and don't let anyone take it away from you.
My advice is to educate yourselves, to know your business, whatever that may be. Whether it be musically as an artist, know who you are musically, know what you want your music to sound like, how you want to be represented. It's an extension of you, and it begins and ends there. So that's the first thing that I always advise any artist, like really getting to know themselves as an artist. Because whoever comes into their lives, whether it be a manager or a label, is only going to build on what they have to offer. And so they've got to be clear about what they project.
You can't show up ever and not be confident. You can't walk into a room and say, look, we don't know if we're any good, but we've written these few songs and our parents like them and our girlfriends like them. You can't show up that way. You actually have to feel, even before you start selling your stuff, you have to actually believe that you're really good. Okay, I mean, that's a given, and so there's a confidence factor. You have to have the talent. That's a given. You can't even get in the playing field without the talent. And then everything else is how you go about what I call effective aggressiveness. It's a boxing term. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. When they score boxing, it's not just about who got knocked down and who didn't get down. One of the components in scoring boxing is called effective aggressiveness. Not just aggressiveness, effective aggressiveness. So a bad example of aggressiveness is going and saying, we're better than the Rolling Stones. That's aggressive, but it's not effective, right? It would just be good to say, we're really, we really think we've done a bunch of really good songs here, and, without having to compare yourself with one of the two greatest bands of all time. So there's effective aggressiveness, and then there's just stupid. You always have to be thinking about, what could I be doing that everybody else isn't doing? You can always increase. Your goal is to increase your statistical chances of fill in the blank, getting hired, getting a record deal, whatever it is. You can definitely do things that will increase your statistical chance. And there are other things that you can do to maximize your statistical chance. The one thing that no one can promise you is if you do all of these things that you will get, nobody can promise you the end result. But to me, the people who have separated themselves from the pack and have increased this, whether their statistical increase is 5%, 7%, 27%, it doesn't matter what you've just moved ahead of the pack. People can continue to improve their craft. But at a certain point, everybody is going to get to a certain level. Not everybody can be Bob Dylan or Eric Clapton, or, if you just think of that like all-time greats, not every singer can be Janis Joplin, right? It's just not possible. Because almost every great artist died broke, right? So it's an interesting thing that the guys who were, in fact, the greatest painters, Van Gogh, there's a whole list of these people who couldn't give away. Pollock, they couldn't give away their work, but it didn't mean it wasn't good. And, so there's a part of it, yes, these guys were trying to expand borders of what people hadn't done, but there's a public recognition factor also, and we live in a real world.
Be the best that you can be at whatever you're doing. That's the only key to success. If you play music, try to educate yourself as much as you can within music. Try to listen to lots of things. Try to dig into it. Try to work hard. Be the best.
Evaluate your associations. Very important. If somebody just seems a bit off, if you feel that you're not on the same page, it just isn't worth it. But once you agree to be part of something, then do it 110%. Don't hold back. Give it everything you got. And I mean, be aware of what's out there, It's so many opportunities. I mean, and today with obviously the web, my God, people do things by themselves. You don't even need companies anymore. So the individual today, I mean, this is what this technology means to me, is that the individual is more powerful now than he's ever been before, So, I mean, anything's really possible. Anything and everything is possible. But, and also I think you got till you're 30 before you have to make any real critical decisions in your life. And I think you should use that time from the time you're out of school to you're working your profession and trying different things out before you have to make a critical decision about what you're going to do with your life. But by the time you're 30, I think you should know where you are. And once you know that, then give that all you got. But in the meantime, have a lot of fun. Make sure you get fun. It shouldn't be without fun. That's for sure. And make your brand. Make people know who you are.